Hey everybody, how's it going? I have one more video to end off the year. A really fun, a really beautiful looking set. I acquired a handful of cards from one of my sellers and pleased to share these with you guys, have a little bit of information about them. Would love if you'd like to stick around and listen if you are interested in Japanese cards. If not, that's fine, okay? I appreciate anyone taking the time to even click on the video. You know, our time's very limited. We're all very busy people, and there's hundreds of channels out there to watch. So I understand if you don't have the time to watch this. So it's much appreciated if anyone even spends a second here. I just want to say thank you. So I have a great set to share today. I also going to throw in a little itty bitty splash of modern Japanese cards as well. There's a particular set I'm working on, and I came across a second card, so I want to share what I got. I'm also at the end going to talk briefly about my goals for 2026. So this set I have I'm going to share the modern first, the more interesting stuff at the end. This is from 2020 Breaking Now. And this is an insert set, part of the 2020 BBM set. And this is of Keita Sano. And this is the card. It has a rainbow foil to it and an atomic refractor design to the card. I just love this because it's very reminiscent of the 90s. This one in particular is numbered out of 50. This guy's nickname is Thanos in Japan. Pretty solid player over there. But that's a beauty. And then the second one up, really nice one too. This is of Kota Inoue. I just acquired this one recently. I just love that look. I do love modern cards. Just more so cards that kind of represent the 90s more. But this is another addition to my set. That's a beauty. Now let's get into the Japanese vintage cards. We got really nice pieces here. So this particular set is from 1949. For anyone that's new to my channel, my era of cards I collect is primarily 30s up until about 58, 59. My cutoff point is right around where Nagashima and Sadaharu start playing. So I collect in that time frame, the age of bromides and the early age of mankos, stuff like that. This particular one is from 1949, and these are colored bromides, so they're really nice looking cards. These are the JBR, and for anyone that's not familiar with JBR, JBR means Japanese bromide. These are the 1949 JBR 52As. Now, sometimes you'll come across sets that'll have a letter identifier next to the number for the set. And when that typically happens, that means there are multiple sheets for the set that get released at different times. So you'll have like a 52A and then a 52B. They even go up to C and D and E, especially in the 60s with the Manko sets. That just means they get released at later times. So then it's sort of like I don't know if it's necessarily a subset in a sense, but it's still part of the same set, but it gets released at a different time. So they kind of put a different identifier on it. I hope I didn't lose anyone there. But this is the JBR 52As, and this first player up is of Shosei Go. And this is what it looks like. You have the player on the front. You have some text on the bottom here. And these have two different types. There is a type 1 and a type 2. This particular one is a type 2. And that's what makes it really special. A lot of bromides are blank backs. This has writing on the back. And this writing, if you see the question mark here, it's the back is pretty much a who am I? So it describes some stuff about the player, and it helps you kind of identify who the player, almost like a quiz in a sense. It'll rattle off some information about what he's achieved, and it's like a who am I quiz to figure out who the player is. Now this one is a Type 2. You can see it kind of bleeding through a little bit, the color on the front. You'll see that quite a lot with colored bromides. The ink they use here will bleed through on the back some. But Type 2s have writing on the back. Type 1s are blank backs. These are the Type 2s. These were also prize cards, specifically third prize cards. So if you ever went into like a convenience store or any type of store that sold cards, they would have something hung up called a tapa. And you would open up a pack, right? And the card purchaser who opens up that pack, if you pulled a card that had a number 3, so there will be some bromides you'll open up from the tapas, and if you have a 3 stamp on the back, that person would be eligible to win and choose one of these third prize bromides. And this one is of Shosei Go. He is a Hall of Famer, inducted in 1995 by the special committee. His nickname was the Human Locomotive. He was known for his speed. He was also a two-way player, pitching and batting. A lot of players back then were two-way players. He was the first pitcher to pitch a post-war no-hitter. Now, he wasn't one of the greats. He was decent. You could say is questionable based off of what he achieved in his career. It's questionable that he should be in the Hall of Fame, but the Hall of Fame induction over there is a bit different compared to America. The next one up, we have a beauty, is of Makoto Kozuru. Phenomenal player, one of the best of that time period. And Makoto Kozuru, his nickname was the Japanese Joe DiMaggio. He was the first player to break the 50 home run mark in a single season. He was also inducted in the Hall of Fame in 1980. Now, every card I'm going to share today are Type 2s. They all have writing on the back. Remember I said Type 2s have writing on the back. Type 1s have blank backs. This is a beauty. Makoto Kozuru. Next up, a great player. I think anyone who wants to delve into like the 40s, this is a player that I suggest everyone at least have one nice card of. He was a phenomenal player. This is of Hiroshi Yoshida. And that's a great image. As you can see with a lot of these cards, they're all kind of action shots of them swinging. And I just love it. The coloring is fantastic. You got the people in the background and the stands. They're following through. I don't know if they're hitting home runs or striking, but it's just such a nice sequence of the photo it's capturing. It's a nice photo capturing a great sequence at the game. But this is of Hiroshi Yoshida, and his nickname was Blue Bat Oshida because he was known for using a blue bat when he played. He was inducted in the Hall of Fame in 1980, and an interesting fact about him, he trained as a kamikaze pilot in World War II. He was a second lieutenant in the Army, and he was training to be a kamikaze pilot and come over to America. Thankfully, that did not happen, but yeah, pretty cool. Anyone, regardless of their intentions back then, anyone willing to serve in the military, my hat's off to you. And last but not least, this one is of Shigeru Chiba. And you can tell with this one, this card looks a little darker than these other ones. See how much lighter that is? Now, this card used to be labeled as a 52B and not a 52A. And a good way to tell, it's a very subtle difference. But the difference between 52Bs and 52As are, in most cards, not all of them, the background of the player, it'll just in general be a much darker card. You see how much lighter this is compared to how dark this is? Your 52Bs will have a darker color to it. Now, recently, they put this in the 52A. I don't remember the reasoning behind it, but typically 52Bs, they'll have a darker background and the text will be smaller. The text here looks bigger, so I think they ultimately decided this was a 52A. The seller I bought this from listed this as a 52B though. So I got to look more into this, but that's the greatest difference between the two. This is of Shigeru Chiba. He was known for drawing walks. His nickname was the Bull. He was inducted into the Hall of Fame in 1980. It's a beauty. This is such a great set. I think anyone who loves just photography and the way cards look, bromides are such an excellent path to follow down. And, you know, some bromides don't have anything on the back, so I know that can deter people away from picking those up. But they do have some once in a while that, you know, do have some writing on the back of it. And these are really cool. And last but not least, I want to talk about my goals for next year. Nothing too crazy. I would say I want to improve my Tetsuharu Kawakami collection. I really want to pick up a really nice autograph example of him. There's one on eBay, but I don't like the autograph. It's just not in a good place. So I'm looking for a really nice prime example of Tetsuharu Kawakami. And I would love to find more of these, find some more R5s. And a big thing for me as well is I'm going to just start sending out Japanese packages to some friends. I would love to see people do some videos on Japanese vintage cards. And I hope to get more people into it. So that's one of my big goals, and is just sharing Japanese cards and at least the little bit of knowledge I have with everyone. And yeah, I've already sent out one package to Lou Rock. I got a couple others I'm going to be sending to Mike and then Jason and a couple others. And I look forward to seeing their videos and just seeing people start to get interested in these things. It's a great outlet to delve into, and I look forward to seeing some stuff. But those are my goals for next year. Very simple, short and sweet. Hope you enjoyed this, and as always, appreciate the support. And I hope you guys have a nice upcoming Christmas. I hope everyone takes care, and I'll see you after the New Year's. All right? See ya.